This is the ABQ Business Podcast with your host, Jason Rigby. Each week we'll interview visionary business leaders to inspire the creative power and spirit that's in every entrepreneur. Discussing strengths, weaknesses, strategies, systems, and the problems we can all solve together for a new future for local small business.
Hey guys, Jason here with Albuquerque Business Podcast. I know for a lot of you, this is a trying time. I know we're going through a lot of struggles. I know some of you are at home and you've been at home for quite a while and you're sitting, watched all the Netflix shows, bored out of your mind. Some of you are extremely busy. Maybe you're an essential employee and you've got a side hustle. You know, I think for a lot of us, it's this uncertainty, this fear that we don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? And then you watch the stupid news and they have no idea. And I hope this shows each of us what this garbage of news that we have. And I hope that you're smart enough not to play in the Fox News, the CNN, the MSNBC, not to play in their paradigm. They're just trying to sell advertising, trying to get more viewers. So literally news is the last thing on their head to properly do that. It's so aggravating. I've been looking at the CDC website, those scientists and doctors that have spent their lives and career in knowing and understanding what is going on. That's pretty much what I look at because I want to make sure that I'm not listening to politicians, regardless of what side they're on, but I'm listening to the experts in what they do. And that's everything I do in business because I want to make sure at the end of the day that I'm getting the right information. But I want to talk to you about thriving or dying. There's businesses out there right now that if they're not dead, they're almost dead. There's businesses out there right now that are just hanging on. And I talk to a lot of business owners, they don't know what to do right now. And I know for us, right now, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a business owner, you're looking at it and should I plan for the end of April? Should I plan till July, August? You know, what do I need to do? And that's what I want to talk to you today about. I want to talk about thriving when the circumstances are not optimal. Thriving in a down economy, thriving instead of dying. So what does this look like? We know that we're going to expect a significant increase in business after this is done. With all the stimulus money that's been put into the market, once the fear is eliminated and people get back to normal, whatever normal becomes after this, we'll see and adjust to that. But we all know that business will increase. Every model that's out there, when you look at economists, they're all saying, yes, with all the stimulus money, we're going to have, low interest rates, all that it's going to succeed. So from now to then, what can I do? And I want to encourage you, look at each of your systems. You have the time now. Look at your systems. Look at what you're doing. How in this new shared reality can we not go back to business as usual and just reacting? How can we adjust this new model to what we can do to have better customer service, to what we can do to engage a customer that's primarily digital now, that's sitting on their couch, engaged on their phones and watching a screen, that two screen that Google talks about. So how can we as a business engage them? What does your marketing look like digitally? What does your systems in place look like to make it convenient and easy for the customer in whatever business that you're in? And I know past behavior and history always repeats itself, and we can go back to the Spanish flu or we can go back to times of crisis. I've been listening to a lot of things about Winston Churchill in his time of crisis and what he did as a leader. Really outstanding, really amazing, some of the things that he did. I'll give you an example. He would go up on top of pubs and buildings, and when they were bombing England, he would fire his revolver in front of people. He would fire at the planes. He's not going to hit a plane. We all know that, but it was this idea of this leader in action and this idea of him being passionate, and that he would say to each of his crowds that would go around him, that this will be the defining moment. This will be what England will be about. 1,000 years from now, people will talk about how we acted. And he made his message. He always thought of the guy that was working in the coal mine, the guy that was sitting at the pub. That was the guy that he made his message to. And I really enjoy looking at leadership in crisis. And I know I've done some couple podcasts on that, and I may actually do some more because I've been studying it a little bit more. But how can we look at past behavior in history? And we know history repeats itself. They're all cyclic. But one thing's for sure, and I want you guys to get this ray of hope, is that the consumer is going to get bored and grow weary of what's going on right now. They are not, you're going to have revolts. People are already doing it. We're not even in a full month into this yet, and people are already saying, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going to go drive. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to the store, even though I may not need anything. I'm going to go hang out at the park. I'm going to go hiking up on the mountains, whatever it may be. People want normal. And you have to know and understand that that is your secret weapon. Normalcy in their lives is what they're seeking. And they want ease and convenience and not to be fearful. So whenever you can balance that out, you will not fail. So what does this mean? Because I want to get into this and I want to keep this podcast really short today. The daily issues that people are facing in their lives, and this time period of waiting, this little time period of waiting till when the economy gets back to normal, whether it's now in 30 days at the end of April or whether it's to July, we're hearing all these stories on that. But we know once the curve dies down and all that, then they're going to start releasing restrictions and stuff like that. We know on the other side of this, we're going to be successful. If we can make it till then, we know we're going to be successful. So how do we attack? How do we occupy? And how do we win the battles now? That's the question I want us to understand, is that we can sit and wait and die, or we can find ways. We cannot control this COVID, whatever it is, 19, 20, 20. It doesn't matter. 2 years from now, when we have another issue and we face something, we can't control that. But I've told you, we can control how we react to it. We can control how our attitude is around it. It is there. It is solid. The government has made. We can't go against what the government says. We can't go against anything. It's here. Stop fighting it. And start thinking how you can be flexible and fluid and understand that your business can thrive in this. You can be creative. I love that high-end restaurant in Seattle. It's one of the highest-end restaurants in Seattle, how they adapted. And I'm going to leave you with this story. Here's what they did. They knew that they couldn't have people come into the restaurant. Of course, it's Seattle. That's like huge. What's going on there right now? I mean, we all know that's crazy up there in Washington State. That's where my family's from, and I have family up there. But when you look at this restaurant, they knew that they can't do $1,000 bottle of wines like they normally do and have all these Amazon execs and Starbucks execs and Costco execs, all these big companies that are in Seattle. They go to this restaurant. So they outlined on Instagram and on their social media exactly what they can do. So here's what they did. They took a high-end restaurant and they said, we're going to have good coffee and bomb bagel sandwiches in the morning. And we're going to have that to go so people can grab that and go. Number one. Number two, we're going to have another business. They broke it up into 3 businesses. Number one was the bagel and coffee in the morning. Number two was Super Bomb Burger fries for $14 for lunch. And then number 3, they had to-go menus at night where you could take the high-end food and take it home and cook it, or you can take the high-end food and turn around and, eat it. And then they got creative. They started saying, what are some of the things to do? So the guy that played the piano at the restaurant, they have him play the piano on YouTube. And then you can watch him live on YouTube play the piano while you eat the meal that you made. If you want to light candles or whatever you want to do, we have to be creative, guys. We have to put everything we have into attacking, occupying, and winning the battles ahead. Your competition is not doing that. They're waiting, or they're scared, or they're fearful. You have an opportunity right now to take market share. No one is doing digital marketing right now, guys. It's so cheap. What used to cost you $2 or $3 a click is like 30 cents a click now. Facebook ads that used to cost you maybe ROI to get a lead or whatever was $7, $8. Now it's like $1. I'm telling you guys right now is the time to attack and to occupy. That is what you need to do in your business. If you don't have money to do digital marketing, that's fine. Post every day organically. Ask people to share. Tell stories of your struggle, what you're going through. What are you deciding? Where are you at? Be honest and open. Create a fan base organically online get on Instagram, guys, and start following people and asking them to share what's going on. Maybe you have a new menu item that you want to present and you want to have them cook it at home or whatever. Go through that. Make a video of you cooking it. Whatever it is, you have to be creative, guys. Now is the time to attack. Now is the time to occupy, and you can win the battle and put yourself way ahead of everyone else when the economy does get good. Or you can wait and be fearful and scared like a sheep. So I want you guys to understand and know you have all the power that resides in you. It's all in you. The universe, God, whatever, put that in you. You have the ability. Don't let anyone tell you don't. And I encourage you guys, as ABQ Business Podcast family, that's what I consider you guys family. You guys DM me all the time, and I'm super excited to help anytime I can. And if you have marketing questions, just hit me up. You can go on Instagram, DM me. It's ABQ Jason Rigby. My YouTube channel, I've been putting out more info on that. It's just look, you could type in anything. Twitter, I'm really active on Twitter. I know you guys are watching the news and listening to the news on it. So I encourage you, ask me questions. If you need direction, guidance, or help, we can hop on a 10-minute, 5-minute phone call and we can shift you in that direction. We can rebrand you, whatever you need. You let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you in any way that I can. But please support this podcast. Please share it. Tell other business leaders about it. Tell your friends. I want to make sure that I encourage you guys and that we get this word out so that we together in this new shared reality can be better humans. And I hope you know what that means, but I just want us to love more, to be grateful, to have this ability to appreciate the things that we need to appreciate in our mundane daily life. That's what it's about, guys. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.